Hey everyone, it's Sundown again here with Cooking with Sundown, and today we are going to make a stuffed meatloaf with cheese. Yum! So come along and I'll show you how to do it. Alright, so today for the meatloaf we are going to have 2 pounds of ground beef, or you can use ground turkey or ground chicken, whichever one you want. We have panko breadcrumbs, onion soup mix, not French onion soup mix. Mushy beat me up on that. We got mozzarella cheese, Colby cheese, 2 eggs, half an onion, quarter of a pepper, barbecue, salt, and pepper. And let's get this going. So today is what we're going to use is a good old chef's knife and my little knife for cutting.
Where did you get those?
Actually, I got these off of freaking Temu.
Who did?
I think, God, what was her name? She's short, real pretty. Mushy, Mushmellow. Mushy's the one that got me these. And to be honest with you, I have very expensive knives, and these have lasted just as long. They stay sharp, and I absolutely love them. And of course, we have our cutting board and our pan for our meatloaf, so all the grease can drip in the bottom, so you're not eating all that nastiest. All right.
And a bowl.
And a bowl. All right. So I'm gonna julienne these and then dice them small, because what you want to do with these is you want to sweat them. You don't want to cook them all the way out. I like to sweat my onions and peppers because that way they're still crunchy, but they're a little bit soft and they cook up. They don't turn to mush when you put them in the meatloaf and bake it for an hour.
Pause time. No, don't you cut that.
All right.
Sorry, I wanted that straggler as a snack.
I had another piece of pepper, but somebody.
It must have been Ushy.
Yeah, it must have been Ushy. Somebody took it. And we're gonna do the same thing with our onion. We're gonna slice down on the sides, and then we're gonna cut one in the middle.
When you slice down the side, you did not go all the way to the
no,
nubbin.
do not go all the way through. That
about 3/4 of the way or so.
Yeah, that way the onion can hold together, and you don't have to worry about it falling apart and cutting your fingers, which is not good.
Now, if there's a big straggler piece of onion, make no mistake, I would eat it, but I won't this time. I used to know someone who would put salt on an onion and just take a bite out of an onion that way.
That'd be your dad?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Would be you!
I can neither confirm nor deny the identity of this person for their safety and privacy reasons. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Another tool in trade is, I'm sorry, I forgot to add this, is a scraper, which makes good for picking up all your ingredients that you've cut up. We're going to put this into a skillet and going to do it dry. Don't have to add any oil. You're not going to cook it for very long. Maybe a minute and a half on medium heat. All right, so I got these on the burner right now. Going to sweat them out. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. The salt's going to help bring out the moisture. That's why you're not going to need any oil.
What heat do you salt? Or do you salt? What heat do you sweat?
I've got these on a medium heat. And then while you're over here, you also want to preheat your oven at 375, which I've done ahead of time. But you need to preheat that at 375.
I notice a distinct lack of sizzling.
I don't want them to sizzle. I want them to sweat.
What's the difference?
Well, when you start sizzling stuff out, you're cooking them at a higher heat. That's why I didn't put any oil in here, because I don't want them to brown. I just want to sweat them. I want them to soften up, but I still want them crunchy. I do not want them turning to mush in the meatloaf.
I feel personally attacked by that statement.
I didn't say turn mushy. I said mush. See, all right, this ain't good. That's devastating. I see what you did there. You see, you're trying. That's a conspiracy, is what this is.
No, you said what you said, and it's all right. I'll remember it later tonight.
Oh no! Oh no, Scoob!
Oh gosh!
All right, so this right here is perfect. they're starting to soften up. You don't want them to brown. Just kind of churn a little translucent is what I guess is a fancy word. I'm not good with big words, you know. So anyways, I'm going to take these over to the cutting board and put them in a bowl. Alrighty, so we're going to take the onions and peppers that we have sweated up nicely in the gym. We're going to pour them into here. And I'm going to go ahead and leave this pan out. Set it over to the side so I can throw my trash in there. Alright, so now that we got that, we're going to take our burger. It's 2 pounds. Actually, this is a little bit over, but that's alright.
What's the fat content?
This is an 85-15, so it's not going to be as bad as a 75, 25, 70.
But not as good as like a 93, 97.
Yeah. I know.
That's what happens when Mushy doesn't go shopping.
I'm going to add 2 eggs. These are farm fresh eggs. These are from our chicken farm out here, so gotta love that. I do. Actually, I do a lot. And then the secret ingredient that we are going to add is onion soup mix.
That's like the secret ingredient of everything.
Hey, it works. I use this in my meatballs and everything else. So
one packet, right?
Yep, 1 pack. And then we're going to do a 1/2 cup breadcrumbs.
Take his word for it. He promises it's 1/2 cup.
It is.
His eyeballs have like a built-in measuring it. So he's like the Terminator with all that like secret information that comes up from the Terminator's perspective. It tells him when he's approaching 1/2 cup and meets 1/2 cup and
yeah, it's a trigger that goes off in my head. It's like, hey,
ding.
All right, now this is barbecue sauce. I know everyone puts ketchup in, but I use barbecue sauce because something about the flavor in it makes the meatloaf better.
That's honey barbecue.
Yeah. So you want to do about a tablespoon.
Excuse you.
That's okay. It's all right. And now here comes the fun part, the mixing.
Editing break-in. Misophonia trigger warning right now. Big one. This is the part that grosses Mushies out.
Yeah. Mush will be marinating stuff and be like, oh, and she gets in here with like a fork.
I do. I do not like to touch raw meat.
And then she's like, sundown. I'm like,
it's
what?
in my nails.
I'm like, what? She goes, I know I said I didn't need your help. I'm like, yes. Would you like to come mix? I'm like, sure.
You do a lot of your mixing by hand, whether it's dry or wet or raw ingredient. You do a lot of mixing by hand.
Well, yeah.
Is there a reason?
It's just feel. You get mixed up better than you do. Like if you're making like whipped cream or meringue, you know, it's best to use a mechanical device. But when you're doing something like this, I know it's getting mixed up good. I'm not missing anything because I can scrape with my hands. And it works out better for me. I mean, it's not for everyone. All right, so this needs to be a little bit drier. And that's another reason why I like mixing with hands too, because you can feel if it's too wet, if it's too dry. All right, if it's too dry, you can add a little bit of milk to it. And if it's too wet, you can add a little bit of breadcrumb to it to get it where you need it.
What's the consistency you need it? What's it supposed to feel like or look like?
You don't want it sticking to your hands, but you don't want it to where it's so dry that it crumbles up. It's I can't really explain it, and I know that didn't help out. That's probably a teaspoon and a half.
Start, as with most things that we've mentioned in the videos,
you can
start with a little, because you can always add, but you can't
take back.
Yep. Kind of like, just think about haircuts. You cut too much, it takes forever to grow back, so start little.
Yeah, when
always cut more.
Yeah, when I cut my hair, man, it's crazy, because like it comes back and there's nothing left on my head. Oh wait, I shaved mine, that's why. Like me and winter's the only time I have hair, because I got to keep my head warm. All right, so if you can see how that is a good consistency on everything. It's not wet, but it's not crumbling apart. So we're good on that. And I'm going to wash my hands, and I'm going to show you how to stuff this meatloaf. All right, so I got a sheet pan so I can mold this before I put it onto this pan. I did add a little bit of spray oil to it to keep it from sticking. I normally use parchment paper to mold my meatloaf, but yeah, I did a lot of baking. Forgot to buy more at the store. That was bad on my part. So the meatloaf you want to push out. I know it sounds crazy right now, but you want to flatten it out like that. Going on the.
You're kind of getting an even level thickness, right?
Right.
At first to start, so you get it kind of so it's not thin on one part and thick on another.
Right. And then you want to mold everything up like this, and then here comes the fun part. Kind of make it like a.
Editor's note. Like a what, Sundown? You never did answer yourself.
Now, a question.
Yeah.
Do you know recommendations on how thick, deep, wide? Because I know meat like shrinks, and you're gonna stuff that. I see, and so like, can we get an idea of generally how narrow, how wide, how long, how deep?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. I do it by feel. So I'm going to say probably 5 inches wide, 10 inches long, and about 4 inches deep. Because you want to have this crevice in the center of it. So you can put the.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I know.
I'm just taking a moment to appreciate this view with everyone. You know? Do you really know?
Hold on, that looks there. That looked kind of obvious for what everyone would know.
Alright, well, if you get the joke, let us know in the comments below.
Oh, they got the joke.
Well, you never know.
We all got the joke. So we're going to take our Colby.
And now we're going to put cheese in the crevasse.
What's wrong with that?
I'm so immature. I'm so sorry.
Why are you sorry? That's who we are. You know? And you best not edit that out either. Please do not.
We'll see.
Wish granted, sir.
All right, so on the Jesus. So on the cheese, sorry, I had a piece of onion on my knife. I'm wiping it off. You want to do the long ways, about a 1/2 inch thick. Same way on the Colby, 1/2 inch thick.
Snack inch thick. Got it.
All right, so we're going to do another piece, just a small piece actually, so we can turn it sideways. So you don't want to go hanging out the ends of it with it, and break it up to where it fits down in there like that. I'll put that over there with the clean hand, put that over there with the clean.
I saw that.
You see nothing.
Yeah, you almost tainted my snack. I saw you. You caught yourself. You saw that, everybody. He almost tried to taint me.
Tainted love. Oh.
Yeah, no joke. And so then you're kind of just mushing it back together, like pinching the top crevasse shut.
Yeah, you want to make sure.
Remolding.
Yeah, you want to make sure that it's sealed good.
Yeah, there's no obvious division line.
Yeah, you don't want it to. It's going to bleed out.
There's a little obvious division right there.
Yeah, it's gonna end up coming out a little bit, but if you don't try to seal it up as best as you can, then it'll be devastating. That's what I usually use parchment paper for, is because I can actually hand roll it to where I get a tight roll on it. But it's got a pretty good roll on it right now. I can tell by the way it feels and the way it looks.
What size pan is that? 8 by 11 or 8 by 13? Just to give everybody kind of like a visual reference of like what this should look like in a good loaf. Because if it's too thick on any one part, or too deep or too thin, it'll if it's too thick, it won't cook through right, and if it's too thin, it'll burn.
It'll cook in a way fast.
And you're just kind of unsticking it from the bottom. gently? Okay. What if we don't have those special spatulas?
That's what the parsnip paper is for, is because it will allow you to put it in the pan and stay into the pan. All right.
All right, so now it is in. How important is this like drainable pan? What if all I have is a loaf pan?
You can use a loaf pan. I use this pan because
you like to drain the grease
I like to drain the grease out, and
but you could use a loaf pan and manually drain the grease if you don't want the grease. You could go through and what is that? Not base, but like siphon.
Yeah, you can siphon, or you can take just the meatloaf out and leave all the grease in there.
You probably could even take like a paper towel and
not into the pan. You want to take this out. If you're gonna bake it in a loaf pan, you want to take your paper towel, set it on the counter, set it in a sheet pan, put the meatloaf on top of that.
Oh, okay.
To drain it, and then you have to be careful when you do that because paper towel will stick to the meatloaf.
Oh, didn't think about that.
Yeah, so that's why I cook it in here. It just makes it easier.
And this is Copper Chef, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. And it's a fryer basket, I think, with a little.
It's a multi-purpose basket. I use it for everything, but it should.
But I mean, the technical name, I think, if I remember right, was some kind of like fryer basket.
Yeah, you can put your fries in here, over here, and basically it turns a regular oven into a air fryer.
All right, but our purposes, this is going to be used to help let all the grease, instead of sitting and soaking in and sitting on top of the meatloaf, it's going to drain down into the drip pan.
Correct.
Here, and that way we don't have to deal with the grease later.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, everyone. So got the meatloaf molded up and everything. We're going to set it in the oven. Takes about an hour. So I will
stand here and talk to us for an hour.
Oh my God, y'all will be bored as get. I'll check on it in an hour. Well, actually, in about 50 minutes, just to make sure, to see if it's, because like I said before, all ovens cook different. So I'll check it in about 50 minutes, and I'll get back with you guys and let you know how long my oven took. But yours could not take as long or take longer. But be back shortly. All right, so there's probably about 20 minutes left on the meatloaf. So I'm going to make the glaze for it, which is a half a cup of ketchup. And then I am going to use a measuring cup on this because you don't want it too sweet. But you want a quarter cup of packed brown sugar. And I do not glaze my meatloaf while it's in the oven. This is more like just a sauce to put on top when everything is done. That way, if people like it, they can have it. If they don't, then they don't have to have it on there.
I'm an oven bake the glaze on person.
I never have. So
I like that baked glaze.
So we're going to put this on the stove.
Spoiler, I'm going to make him glaze part of the meatloaf and bake it.
Okay. And we're going to turn this on a medium heat. We want it to cook down and thicken up. And then, as Mushy said, spoiler, we're gonna baste half of it.
I like the baked-y because it gets all like a little carcinogenic. It gets a little burnty. It gets I don't know, baked-y ondy, and sometimes a little burnty.
Oh yeah.
Browny.
So we're just gonna let this heat up and let it cook, and I will be back shortly.
Oh, medium heat, you said, right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I took a taste test. I ended up adding another quarter cup of ketchup to the brown sugar because it was too sweet. So we've said this plenty of times. You can always add, but you can't take away. So start out small and then add more if you need it, because you want the ketchup flavor with that sweetness. You just don't want all sugar, and that was too sweet, which I can't believe I'm saying that, but it actually was. Oh, hi, Chef. How you doing? Oh, okay.
Chef Percy.
He's stretching.
And it depends on the ketchup, too, because some ketchups are more vinegar forward, some are more sugar forward. Some are more tomato and acidic. You know what I mean? So when you got to kind of taste it and adjust to your preference. If you need more sweetness to it for your taste buds, then you would add more sugar. But if you need more of the acidity.
Yeah, which the Dollar General brand that I got is very, very vinegar based a lot.
And I am very sensitive to vinegar. I can taste it 10 million miles away in anything, even a drop. And
I take the cap off of it, and you're like,
I can smell it.
You'll be sleeping. Don't put that in the food. I'm like, clean out the coffee pot.
Any kind of vinegar, I am real sensitive to. So, for me, I sort of needed, I need it to be balanced out. Otherwise, I won't be able to stomach it.
Yeah. So,
but not all ketchup's that way.
Yeah. The dollar, just go to Aldi's or get the Hunt's or the Heinz. They seem to be pretty well balanced out.
More tomato forward, sugar, maybe sugar forward.
This is the first time I've ever got the Dollar General brand, and the vinegar taste is so. But a lot of people like it. Unfortunately we're just ones that don't like that, but it's still usable.
Yeah.
And anyways, I just wanted to tell you that I had to come back in here and add some more, and I'm going to be making some mashed potatoes, some instant mashed potatoes.
Yeah, we found some. He did not want to do it. Usually he makes mashed potatoes from scratch, and we will do that in the future.
Yeah, I do not like instant, but I have an idea on how to make them better.
And by instant, that's the flake stuff, right?
Yes, the flake.
I know how you feel, but I saw it in the clearance cart, and grocery prices are high, and I was like...
When you're shopping on a budget, food is food. You get what you can get, and, make the best of it. I went and got a loaf of bread the other day and had to take out a car loan for it, but, that's besides the point. And eggs, that's like getting a house payment, And that's 47% interest.
Well, and I saw them, and I was like, maybe there are some people that's all that they can afford. Right. Maybe they can't afford to get the whole bag of russet potatoes or whatever. And the milk and the cream and all the stuff that goes into that. And I was like, well, let's show people that you can take flaked, dried potatoes and make them something delicious.
And I'm not going to do it in this episode, but like if you have like a russet potato, you can take that potato, cut it up, boil it, and then start making your mash and add the flakes to it to stretch out that real potato, and you'll still get that real potato flavor.
Oh, that's a good idea too. We'll show that in a future video?
Yes.
All right. Well, we will come back when we are ready to continue on. Look at that glaze. He better put some of that on.
I will.
How thick is it?
Oh, it's thickening up.
All right.
All right, so the sauce is done. We're going to go ahead and turn that off. I'm going to take the meatloaf out. Thank goodness I'm not wearing my glasses.
You have a stalker, a kitty stalker.
Always. We're going to set that right there, and I'm going to take some paper towels.
Sorry, our sous chef here is making me very, very nervous for chef feet and hot little animal jumps to smell good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just worried he's going to be like, that smells good. Let me jump up there and get it.
Yeah. So that is just to soak up that extra goodness in there. And then I'm going to take this. I'm going to go ahead and baste the whole thing.
Woohoo! Thank you.
And then I'll have some extra put over top.
Are you just doing the top, or are you going to spread it down the sides? I see you letting it drip down the sides, but I wasn't sure.
Letting it drip down naturally.
And you saved some for a fresh coating once it comes out, right? So there's a baked layer and
there's going to be a baked layer, and then when this is done and we slice it, you can add more to the center if you want, or however.
Okay.
I like to add it on there. All right, so the meatloaf's got about 10 more minutes.
Looks good. Smells good.
It smells really good. I'm going to do these instant mashed potatoes, so I'm going to show you how to do them. Alrighty, so we're going to grab 3 teaspoons.
Tisps.
Not tablespoon.
Not tablespoon. Tisp. Wait, that's tbsp.
No, it's tbsp.
How many tbsps?
3.
That's tbsp. Look. Tbsp. 3 tbsp.
Like I said, tbsp.
You said tusp.
No, see, you messed me up. Stop.
3
All right.
tbsps, otherwise known as tablespoons.
And it normally calls for 1 1/3 cup of water and a 1/3 cup milk. I'm doing all milk. It's gonna make the potatoes richer and
Creamier.
To me, I like it better. So hopefully you guys will too.
I think of it like oatmeal, instant oatmeal. When I use the water it says to use, it tastes like water mush.
Now,
but when you use warm milk, it tastes really good.
That last batch I made for you, I used all milk.
Yeah.
It's
You can tell the difference.
yeah, huge difference.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Oh, now we're going back to the stove?
Yes.
Oh.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna put this on a medium-high heat. Let it boil up, because as soon as it starts boiling, you're gonna take it off and add your potato flakes to it and get everything going. And I'm gonna add some extra goodies in there. But right now, we're just gonna add some pepper.
About how much? To taste?
To taste, whatever. We like a lot of pepper.
We like a lot, and we like it chunky.
Yes. So we're gonna let this cook up, boil, and then we'll be good.
All right.
All right, I already got the potatoes measured out. It takes 1.5 cups. These you want to measure.
I was gonna say, are those measuring cups, good sir?
Yes, they are. And we're gonna put some chives and some shredded cheddar cheese in these.
AKA green onions.
Yes, green onions.
About how much?
I got three stalks of green onions.
Do you use just the whites? Do you use the white and green?
I use all of it.
Me too.
Because it all has a different flavor, and I know everyone's like, oh, it's one onion. It tastes it doesn't.
The white part is like maybe sweeter and more concentrated onion flavor, and the green part to me is a little more like bitter onion.
Yes.
Not in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, if I had to describe it. And you're just finely chopping the 3 green onion stalks?
Yeah, I'm going to save these.
The dark green ends, the small?
Yeah, to put over on top of the potatoes when they're done. All right, so this is starting to bubble up on the edges like this. It doesn't have to come to a rapid boil because you don't want your milk to scorch. So this right here is good. I'm going to go ahead and take it off, and I'm going to add everything, the cheese, the potatoes, and everything, and then they'll be ready.
All right. We'll see you over there.
All right, so we're going to add the chives into here. And then we're going to add our 1.5 cups of potatoes. Get them stirred up.
The good thing about, I guess, the dried potato flakes, like the instant potatoes, is that if you make too much of the liquid, you can always add more of the flake.
Yeah, but make sure you stir them for, just don't put it in and stir and walk away, because it will be watery. The more you stir, the more it's going to thicken up.
And the flakes are going to absorb that liquid.
Yes, like
from
when I started to where it is now.
Yeah, because what I've noticed anytime I've used the flaked potatoes is that if you don't stir them enough, there can be pockets of dry hidden. You know what I mean? Hidden in there, and you'll go num 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 num, and you'll be eating, and then you'll get a mouthful of dry flakes.
Exactly. All right, so
how much cheese did you add?
I added 1/4 cup.
Okay.
And that's that.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Those are our potatoes.
All right, everyone. Meatloaf is done. Looks fabulous. It smells amazing. Just be careful getting it out of the oven because it is freaking hot.
And there is liquid grease.
Yeah, that's not liquid gold. That's just straight up grease.
And this is what the meatloaf should look like when it's done?
Yes, you're going to have the cheese that's going to come through the top, which the top is fine. You don't want to come out the sides because then it boils out and shoots out. Up top is good still, so we're good on that.
I just want to give everyone an overview of what the finished meatloaf product should look like when it's done.
And it smells absolutely amazing.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to let this rest. I have a bag of steamable veggies in the microwave, so you don't need to see that. It's just a bag that you just hit the button and that's it. And then I'm going to put a little bit of butter on top of the potatoes as it sets, just letting you know what I'm doing, so when it comes back and you see, why has it got butter on it, you know why. But
we're going to put butter on the veggies too. Cattail. We're going to put butter on the veggies too, right?
yes.
All right. What are the veggies?
Just peas.
Peas?
Yep, doing some butter, salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic.
I think goes good with mashed potatoes and meatloaf.
That is like a marriage made in heaven.
Yes.
All right, so the meatloaf's been setting for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to attempt to get this off of here without it sticking. Oh, okay. Oh, bet. That'll never happen again. All right, and I'm going to set it on the cutting board. And then cut that up here in a minute. I'm going to get rid of this pan, and I'll be right back. All right, so we're going to cut this thing. I'm just using a sharp knife to do it with. Oh, man.
Ooh, cross section. You're just cutting into thin slices as you would a traditional meatloaf, right?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much everybody knows how to cut a meatloaf.
Yep.
Almost
There's
everybody.
that cheese. Oh, that is perfect. All right, I'm going to get this plated up and let y'all see it. All right, everyone. We have everything plated up. You guys are going to have to guess which is which. We got plate 1 and plate 2.
Plate red and plate blue?
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Red and blue.
All right, good for you. Oh, sorry. Anyways.
Which one plated up for you? I'm sorry, I'm going with the rhyme thing.
Oh, my God.
I left you. Checkmate. Oh, Leah's home. The dog is about to bark, so we better wrap this up pretty quick. Who plated which plate? Did Mushy plate red or blue? Did Sundown plate red or blue? Which plate belongs to which person?
Anyways, I want to say thank you all for stopping by and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and see you next time. Beast.
Stay naughty.